deserves to be.
Yeah.
I don't know. I tuned in for a few minutes a couple weeks ago, and right as I come in, I hear Bekah talking about her sexy fireman again. Like, it wasn't all that clean.
I'm pressing for
It
flight.
ain't that squeaky.
Yeah. That's all right. You know, we can let a couple cuss words slip or some
I didn't
sexy
say cuss
firemen.
words.
No, I've let a couple slip. We're live, by the way.
Oh.
But yeah, I've let a couple slip, but I don't think a couple is a big deal.
Well, I can talk about sexy firemen and it's still clean. The whole situation was clean.
Well,
They were so clean.
yeah.
They're
Women are allowed to talk about
There's
sexy
Fire
firemen.
hoses involved.
We're just not allowed to
all kinds of hoses.
switch.
All the hoses.
The hose and the hoses.
Guys, I gotta tell you, it feels good to get back into to really solidify the mentality that you're not gonna be a fat fuck anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when you really like buckle down, you're like, all right, I'm feeling in the mode. I'm in that mode of, and what really did it for me was doing Aikido and just noticing how much more pain I'm in and how much more tired I get. I'm like, oh God, my knees can't take it. So I gotta take off these 30 pounds.
Yeah.
So once you get into that, it feels really good.
Are you
drinking
making
less.
progress already, or you're saying?
Yeah, I haven't weighed myself, but not yet. But yeah, I mean, I can already tell the difference. Just once you start taking off that water weight, it comes off quick. You know.
Well, don't tell Brad, but it's clear that whatever he's doing is working. But
I already told Brad. I know. Brad leaned way down. Yeah,
look at that shit.
Yeah, it looks like
at those
like a
guns.
cartoon muscle.
Looks like the muscles I used to draw whenever I would draw the Ninja Turtles.
Oh yeah. It's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
Don't tell Brad.
You out those color lights, turn it to green, so you got like a green glow on you.
Let me see what
like
I can
a turtle.
I'm in the process of English.
Patrick, how you doing today?
Kind of upset.
Oh, you're kind of upset.
Yeah, I didn't get my wings tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our favorite bar was just randomly closed.
Yeah.
I thought you were like
then
going through flight
Blue
school.
chips?
Yeah, blue chips. Like I was gonna pull in to get some wings before I come here, and then pull on the door, and there's like it looked like Ginger and somebody else was in there, but there was a ladder in the middle of the floor. So I guess they were waiting on somebody to do some construction in there. Yeah. And then I went to Buckethead. That failed because nobody came to me for like 20 minutes. So I just left.
They suck.
Here.
I don't do it anymore. Fuck that place.
Suck it head.
Yeah. Suck it head. What it should be called.
Yep.
Anybody check to see if we're actually live or no?
Yeah, we are.
Okay, good.
We are.
All right, cool. I
I just trusted you.
Well, I mean, it's there, but I didn't get a notification.
Well, Patrick, it's only uphill from here. This is my new motto for the show. It's only uphill from here.
Yeah, it's only uphill.
I mean, we only go uphill. The hill only goes higher.
Yeah.
And it just keeps going higher. It's a new philosophy. I mean, it's not a new philosophy, but I'm applying it to the show.
Or is that curvature?
Yeah, curvature. Yeah, we're gonna go high enough to see the curvature.
Okay.
Speaking about over the hills, Dave.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It just happened that way. You're right next to Patrick in my little boxes here.
Sure.
How you doing, Dave?
Oh, I'm a little off tonight, I guess. I don't know.
You're all.
Yeah.
Yeah, Patrick is down. You're down. What's the deal, man?
Yeah, we should all just kill ourselves on the show right now.
Hey,
let's do
there.
it.
Final show.
Let's do it, guys.
Oh, Brad got the green light going.
I mean, that's about as green as it's gonna get.
Perfect.
All right.
Yeah. Dave, that's all you got, Dave.
I mean, I don't really want to complain.
No funny
everything's
anecdotes?
all right.
Do you have anything funny to complain about?
Did you run an air? Did you have an errand to run that went awry or anything?
No.
No.
It was pretty straightforward. I just in one of those. I don't want to say full on melancholy. Maybe I'm just tired. Maybe I'm just tired. I'm old.
You looking forward to Thanksgiving? You getting geared up for that? I know it's always a big deal for you.
Turkey.
Well, the last few years we've done Thanksgiving at a cabin, so we haven't done it here. We haven't done the frying the turkey. So
Did you say canned turkey?
Camp.
Oh.
Camp
Camp
turkey.
Camp turkey.
So you're
That's
doing it?
Christmas.
You're doing it at your place again this time?
No. We
No?
usually rent a cabin now out on a place called Hale's Bar on Nickajack Lake. So we
Like
don't
the
really
sound
fry
of it.
on other people's property.
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
dangerous.
Maybe if we
They don't
go
actually
back
know
there
you're
for
there.
Christmas, we'll.
Yeah,
Just
they don't know
like-
you're there. What's the trouble?
I just like saying Nickajack Lake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes
Yeah.
you sound like you're getting away with saying something.
Yeah.
No, I don't mean that. Now that you say it, I got to change
No.
my mind. You sound like an asshole. Speaking of assholes, Brad,
Hey.
how's it going, man?
It's going all right. Work is slow, so that sucks because I really wanted to have a bunch of money to do Black Friday shopping, but I guess that ain't happening.
Hmm.
I have finally accepted that I am slimming down, and I started changing my macros on my diet. And tomorrow, I unintentionally have a vegetarian diet because I noticed, like, after I got done putting all my stuff in my like the equivalent of MyFitnessPal, but that app just wants to take your money.
What are you using?
I am using, I think it's called My Macros. Yeah, My Macros Plus. And you can do pretty much everything you need to do. It's got a barcode scanner. It's $2, and then they try to get you with a subscription thing where you can just write notes and you get
That
a lot
sounds
of
like
stuff.
a lot of work.
I mean, it is, but that's the whole thing's a lot of work. But you look good, or so people tell you.
Getting jacked, getting ripped is a lot of work, Dave.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I noticed I didn't have any, like, I just eat ground beef and chicken, and it's like 2 days of this and 2 days of that. But tomorrow I don't have any meat, and I'm like, okay, I'm not sure how I should feel about this.
Yeah, how do I do this?
It's gotta be bad. No meat.
Well, I mean, I'm still drinking veggie. Like, here, I'll tell you, run it through real quick. Whey protein, chocolate milk, vegetable juice, which is V8, and sweet potato fries, oatmeal, cottage cheese, brown jasmine rice, black beans, and cheese.
So it just basically you put in the macros and it just spits that out at you.
Yeah, I'll take a screenshot of it, and then you can kind of see the layout. And then it has a water tracker that I started using today. But I've been doing this for the past month. And
Dave's shaking his head.
I mean, it's kind of
Dave's like, where do M&Ms fall into that?
they're carbs. So I mean, if you can make it fit, like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I know how much water I drink just because, you know, how many bottles I empty and then refill. So
I
it
gotta
just seems
drink
like a
4
lot
of these
work.
fuckers a day. 4 of these a day. 4 big ass.
It's like a lot of work on your
Damn.
kidneys,
I
man.
Clear
usually drink
V8.
3 liters of water at work on a shift.
It's
That's
not,
good.
it's not vodka in that anymore. It's water.
Yeah, it goes down way easier than the vodka.
Man, we got peoples and chats.
What up,
Hello.
chat? Hello,
No
chat.
way.
Oh,
Say
we have a
something.
voicemail too, by the way.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
Oh, voicemail.
Oh wow.
Let's go to Bekah before we go to that voicemail. Bekah,
Hello.
your lips are very red tonight.
Oh, thank
British.
you.
Thank you for making your
They also look good. I mean, I just pointed it out.
You got the text that said, "Will you say something about my lips?"
It's like it's just an observation.
Just call it an observation. No one will
Hey,
notice.
Bekah, so water's wet today. No, you said
What?
thank you.
Yes.
Just give me a fact.
Is that a code? Is she supposed to start like tapping her forehead or something?
No,
Like a
he's just giving me another fact. Your lips are red.
shitty hypnosis.
Water is wet.
So I had a first here a couple of days ago.
You bought the red lipstick.
No. I was participating in my employment, and I was at somebody's.
Good way to put it, actually.
I was participating in my employment. Wait, what?
Definitely the
And-
most roundabout way we've ever. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, yeah, so it ended up. I ended up being at someone's home, and when I was leaving, this place, by the way, is what you would call riffraff, I guess. As close as you can get to it, maybe.
The place,
a riff-raffy kind of place. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Name
Like
of
a
the
bunch
bar.
of 6ix9ines in there.
Get out of here, you riffraff!
Yeah, it's one of these places where the doors are locked. It's a quote secure building. These people are never comfortable answering their phone, and when you finally do get them to come outside, they're always fucked up on something.
Yeah.
Who knows what, but it's always something.
Yep.
It's that damn riffraff juice.
Mm-hmm.
Getting all hooked up on it.
And these are great SoundCloud rapper song names.
Secure doors.
Dave, did you say all hooked up on it?
I guess. Maybe.
So hooked up on this shit, man. Hooked up on it.
Well, so I'm leaving the riffraff establishment, and
By the way, for the listeners, this is not a replacement for a racial slur. This is not what this is.
No,
this is
Not what I was thinking at all.
Okay.
That's not what.
Now everybody's
Now everyone's
all
thinking. Okay,
anybody's
sorry.
Thanks
It
a lot,
just-
Steve-O.
Sorry, guys. It just dawned on me that might be translated that way. It's not. It's not what this is.
right. So I'm leaving this place, and I take a right onto a street. It's a neighborhoody kind of street, and I see I'm about halfway from where I turned to. What are you laughing, Patrick?
A neighborhoody kind of street.
You know,
Neighborhood. I mean,
I'm trying to
some
paint
of
the
these
picture for you.
descriptions
People live there and they're like neighbors.
I can't believe we're all such wordsmiths in here.
and I turned down another kind of like a street lighty street.
you know the asphalty road.
They have little trafficy lines on the road.
You know, it's one of those straight kinds.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm about halfway from where I turned onto the situation. And stop sign at the end of it, and I see this car whip out behind me from the area that I had just left, and like fucking fast, and had to do like a real wide swing too. It was nuts. And then they came up on me really fast, and I was almost at the stop sign at this point, and I was just like, well, fuck this is a drunk driver, I'm not gonna let him hit me. So I just blew through the stop sign, and then I saw the red and blue lights.
Oh shit.
God damn it.
And so I stopped, of course, and cop comes up to my car and he goes, 2 things. Your tags are expired. I said, how is that possible? I just got them in July. He said, well, they expire on your birthday, because this was the day after my birthday. And I said, oh, yeah, that's right. I did know that. I'm sorry. My bad. And he said, the other thing is you totally blew that stop sign back there. I was like, well, no offense, but I was afraid of you. I didn't realize that you were a police officer with a plan. You know, like I thought that you were a drunk driver. And he said, no. And then he asked me for my license, and he looked at it and he said, oh, so your address isn't right. Are you living at that place now? And I said, no, I was just, and I showed him my uniform shirt, and I said, this is what I was doing there. And he said, okay, well, have a good night. So I didn't do anything wrong until I did. He didn't have a real reason to come after me until I did.
Except for the
run
place you were
stop sign.
leaving. You're not allowed to leave that
He thought
place.
you were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't get a ticket, and I went and got my tags taken care of, and everything is a-okay. I'm having a great time.
Well, that was nice of him not to
Yeah.
get there.
They pretty much they give you the once over, see if you're riffraff, see if you're drunk, and if you're not and you're cool with them, then they're like, all right, get out of here.
Yeah.
Get out of here, you scamp.
Get out of here. You're fine. You're
not your everyday riffraff.
But what was funny though is if he.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Give that part.
Okay, so I'm gonna open. How do you say? Open the kimono, part the kimono for all the listeners. I've been trying. It's a phrase. I'm letting you see
Open the kimono.
Oh no! I don't know.
That's a kimono no.
It's a phrase. It has
Okay.
to be. I've heard
That's
it.
the title of this episode.
If you say, I mean, I didn't know there
Can
were
we get a fact
neighborhood
check on that?
places,
Can somebody
And-
fact check that for me?
I don't
riffraff places. Now I know
Open the
that there's
kimono or split the kimono?
neighborhoody
yeah.
type of neighborhood.
Let's see.
Now there's a kimono thing. It's a whole
Peel
new day.
back.
How do
the
you spell
veil,
kimono?
what it sounded-
Part the veil. Yeah, that's
Part the
one.
veil. Yeah.
That's what I.
Kimono.
said.
It's a whole
Sure.
Open the kimono. Open kimono definition. Open kimono means to reveal what is being planned or to share important information freely.
Wow.
I did it.
Corporate executives use that phrase.
Exactly.
Where did you pick
have
that
you
up?
felt my handshake?
Where did you pick that? Very firm. Where did you pick that up? I've totally you totally just verbiage cucked me right now. So
that guy she was talking to at the Firestone. He told that to her.
Oh, yeah, he said you were to come lay in my office.
What's
and
wrong
part
with your
the
car?
kimono.
Well, let me open the kimono.
I remember that was in Mad Men. The really old man had said that before.
I've never seen Mad
Men. I need to watch it again.
Yeah. I could just answer the question.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's the McElroy brothers.
Mm.
They do my brother and me, for the people that don't know, which would be insane if you didn't, because they're awesome. They say it a lot, so that's where I picked it up.
Okay, cool.
But it's very possible. Like you had me scared for a second, because it's very possible that they made it up.
You thought you were going to open the kimono.
All right. So anyway, I'm gonna open the kimono. I'm gonna tell y'all what I've been hiding. I deliver pizza, and so when he asked me what I was doing there, I said I was delivering pizza. And when you deliver pizza, you usually have something to keep it in, to keep it warm for the trip. And this delivery just so happened to be only salads. So if the cop had asked me like, oh yeah, you were delivering pizza, let me see the evidence, let me see that bag,
show him the receipt.
Yeah,
we ain't got a receipt.
Well, yeah,
unless it was paid.
But in the heat of the moment,
right?
in the heat of the moment, it would have made me look bad, because then I would have been flustered and it would have been a situation. But it's okay. I'm fine. I'm not in jail. I didn't get a ticket.
Good.
Congratulations.
Good.
Cool.
Thanks.
Congratulations. Very good.
Even meth heads need their nutrition.
Yeah, they got salads and everything. They're counting their macros.
Yeah.
That shit.
How do you think they stay so skinny?
Yeah, just their macros.
Yeah.
All right, we got a voicemail.
Yes, let's go to the voicemail.
Make sure we can hear it.
Could you hear it last time?
I thought we
The first one, not so much. The second one, yes. You turned it up for the second one.
Oh, okay.
Hey guys, it's Jerry. This message is mostly for Steve. You guys were talking about, Steve, you were talking about the guy who wants to print your Dove photo wall size, and you're worried about the resolution. Well, when I was in the service, that was a lot of my job, as you know, was photo and graphic support. And with software and large format printer technology nowadays, you'd be surprised at the amount of enlargement that you can get with minimal pixels.
He right.
I myself have printed many photos to go on walls, 5 foot tall, 6 foot wide, or even bigger, just from a standard photo from my digital SLR. And a lot of it is software manipulation and the software and printer drivers and printer language with that large format printer. So don't be discouraged just because you're using a standard digital SLR that those photos might not be able to be enlarged as big as somebody would like. If they're using the right software and the right printer, it's highly possible, and I did it many times for the service. Keep up the good work, and talk to you guys later.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
Must be that satellite imagery he's looking at.
Gary just parted the kimono on printing.
Yeah, he did. That's really good to know. Yeah, I mean, and I'm working with 18 megapixels, so it's not small. It's just that when you take an 18 megapixel, it's like 4,000 by 6,000 pixels, and then when you do the math, it ends up being like it's max resolution. It's like you're talking about 4 feet maybe, but yeah. So what he's saying is, there's ways of getting around it and being able to blow it up bigger. And
I figured your camera had more pixels
right there.
Yeah, I mean, 18 megapixels, pretty. I mean, that's pretty good. Obviously, some of the higher end cameras have higher resolution, but you know, I mean, 18 megapixel gets you, you know, about 4 feet. It's pretty good. But yeah. I mean, obviously, I want a bigger one. I want that big.
10 by 10.
Yeah,
That's what she said.
yeah. But yeah, no, he said 6 feet, and that's about how big this guy wants.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully, and I haven't talked to him in a couple days. Hopefully, he ends up pulling the trigger. He said he wants to talk to his interior decorator.
Where do I put this flaming dove thing?
Yeah.
Where do I put it?
Right.
Can you Photoshop a cross in it?
Put it above the
too.
fireplace, so you got the flames coming up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen a picture of it, and it's actually it looks like a basement, and the wall is only about maybe 7 feet tall. Like I mean, I just saw a picture, but it feels short. Like if you walked in there, you'd feel like you needed to duck. But
You can't put a picture of flames above a fireplace. You can't do it. It's like wearing a denim shirt and denim pants at the same time. You just can't do it.
Kanye did it.
My dad.
Well, he's got a professional interior decorator, so
he'll make sure to tell him.
Yeah,
not to
they'll-
put it
I
above
would
his
think so.
fireplace.
yeah, they'll set him straight.
I mean, it may be a corduroy wall room with corduroy lampshades, but maybe the fire dove will look great there.
Yeah, that corduroy lampshade, man.
It's coming back.
Like I
Corduroy?
got this.
Thank God.
Yeah,
I got
corduroy
this orange
lampshades.
orange shag rug here. Did go good with that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Sweet.
get a rug with the flaming bird like woven into it. Like,
Yeah.
have
Take the picture to the blanket people in the mall.
Yeah.
They'll print it out onto that.
Weave a live dove into your rug.
Yeah.
And then set it on fire.
Incredible.
Every day.
Who needs a phoenix when you can have a dove on fire?
There are endless doves. I'm sure there's you can buy them at the pet store.
I mean, they always come in pairs anyway. So however many birds there normally are, there's twice as many of those.
Yeah.
It's like something out of Hellraiser. Just imagine a carpet with live birds woven into it, and they're all fucking twitching and flapping.
Yeah.
This is what it sounds like when doves cry.
Dozens of them.
Oh my god.
So, guys, regular listeners will know that I'm a big fan of the Japanese sport of sumo wrestling. Brad has become a big fan. I think everybody that watches it has a lot of fun watching it.
Yeah.
And I've been this tournament, I've been spending a lot of time in this one YouTube stream that actually has a lot of people chatting in it, and I've kind of become familiar with a few of those people.
Mm-hmm.
And this stream gets over 1,000 viewers every night. It gets up to like 1,700 sometimes, somewhere around there. But last night, somebody popped into the chat and was like, "Where's the women in sumo?" And
was it Elizabeth Warren
trolling?
I don't know if they were or not. See, it's like one of those things where, generally the places I'm at on the internet, like YouTube, it's generally more free speech. People they don't get offended about shit so much. People make jokes like, different things like that. It's not really a big deal.
Yeah.
And they said that, and this person who is an older woman, she's like in her 60s. She was like, I don't think women why would women need to do women's things and men need to do men's things?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. And
it's dangerous even for a woman to say something like that.
Yeah.
That'll blow up chat.
Yeah, this person was like, obviously started to say all this, oh, that's sexist and all this shit. And I said, there is this rule in sumo where women literally cannot touch the ring, the clay ring. It is considered bad luck. And there was actually, I guess there was an incident a few years ago where somebody had a heart attack ringside, and a female paramedic ran up to save them, and were actually standing on the corner. They stood on the corner of the ring for a second. Mm-hmm. And that was like, supposedly it was a really bad thing. And they had like 2 injuries happen in that corner, and it's it's like this big superstitious thing where women aren't supposed to touch it. Mm-hmm. And the point, and I'm seeing this going on, and I just made the point, and the thing I notice is that it's like people, they have a programming, and I'm not separating myself from this. It's like we have this programming that we run in situations, and when we see a certain person say a certain thing, we slot them kind of into this category.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said this thing that I don't really think was sexist at all, but it immediately blew up to "Shut up, you asshole."
I'll be the judge.
And what I initially said was, I don't like the whole superstitious thing about women can't touch the dokyo, the ring. I think that's stupid. But at the same time, if I personally am watching sumo, I want to watch men do sumo, because sumo is a sport that's about size, it's about strength, it's about speed, and I want to see the best of the best do that, and that's going to be men. It just is. It's like, if you want to watch women's sumo, a women's sumo league, go ahead, but if a woman gets in the ring, I don't care if it's the best sumo woman in the world, if she gets into the ring in this specific ring, they're going to get hurt.
Yeah.
Like, these guys are fucking monsters. Even Inho, I mean, you don't realize how big and strong these guys are watching it on TV, but their legs are like tree trunks. They're incredibly strong, and
I wouldn't fuck with them.
No, they're specifically good at this one thing. The power they can generate is incredible. So I just said, and I said, this is the same reason why the NBA is so popular, but the WNBA is not. Like, nobody watches the WNBA.
Yeah.
Like, nobody cares. So that was just that's what I said. And it was just sort of, kind of became a mess for a while after that,
I wish I was in there just to laugh at the chaos.
Be in there. Yeah, I'll be in there later. What do you guys think about that? I mean, would you watch women's sumo?
I don't watch men's sumo.
Well, I know, Dave. Yeah,
I didn't even know that was a thing, to be honest.
I don't know if it is.
Yeah, it probably
Yeah.
isn't. Well, I mean, there might be. Well, just like you can find American sumo, and it's terrible.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, I have watched sumo before, but it was like on real TV.
Yeah.
Dave, you gotta watch it with us.
Like Saturday, it used to come on when I remember watching it when I was much younger. It'd just be on TV, and you only had so many channels to watch. So there you go, sumo.
I think a good analogy is the American versus Japanese sumo. Is like, we gave the American sumo a shot because we were just getting into it, and it's like, well, we already saw today's sumo. Let's see what the Americans have to offer, and we saw it, and it was terrible. It's not. So if there were women, I'd give it a shot. And then if it was terrible, it'd be like, okay, well, this is terrible.
We're done.
Yeah.
Okay, so was it not fun watching? This question is for Nathan and Steve-O. Was it not fun watching me and Brad sumo on the beach? That was fun.
Did any of us actually sumo we just sort of stumped
Me and
her
Brad
up.
did. There was a video of it, and it was fun.
It was hard to not push her down. Like, all I had.
It was hard to not push her face in the sand and then laugh.
I could only hit her shoulders because I couldn't hit her boobs. I couldn't grab her and throw her. And
I didn't see that.
You were there.
You were there.
You were there.
I was fucked up too. So
You were drunk.
Okay, so
Surprise.
what I really think about this is I get where you're coming from.
Pure sexist.
I think when it comes down to it, they should let the men do the sumo, and they should let the women just stick to like wrestling in pools of pudding. Like,
stripes.
Pools of
right.
pudding.
Stay in the pudding.
Yeah, that's where they're wanted. That's where they'll stay.
Bekah always brings the hard truths. Like someone talking about women on the show.
Hard truths, soft pudding.
Nobody else want to say anything sexist and get us in trouble or anything?
Are there any transgender sumo wrestlers?
Oh yeah, that's a whole new thing. That's
there you go.
whole other topic.
Yeah.
Macho Man gets in there.
Yeah.
Macho Man.
Macho Man.
What is up with that? Where, like, I remember watching a short little thing about a girl who wasn't going to get her scholarship because 2 male students went trans, and then they were like, she was going to get a scholarship for track,
Mm-hmm.
and it was looking promising. And then 2 male students decided to transition, and then they started running track, and they totally obliterated all the girls' times.
Yeah,
and now
it's
they're going to get the
ridiculous.
scholarships, and she's going to lose hers.
Yeah,
And I don't think that's fair.
It's anti-woman. It really is. It's eliminate. If there's a really funny picture out there, you probably search and find a series of pictures of a trans woman playing I think it was rugby, and it is just behemoth, just fucking smashing through these girls.
Yeah.
Like they're like, this kind of,
Yeah, there's one like that with the lacrosse.
Yeah,
it was insane. All these girls are like 5 foot, and this dude that's a woman now is like 6'5", just destroying them, just running into them, throwing the ball at them, and they're just cowering in fear.
Yeah, I think Disney will get into the sumo wrestling. That's what Mulan 4 is going to be about.
yeah.
A woman sumo wrestler.
There was a third Mulan.
I got some women sumo going.
I'd say that they're going to need a whole third movie to make her, get a little bigger, so that Mulan 4 will make more sense.
Like
or
those
it's
are
so
them.
good that it's Mulan 4.
Do we have an actual match? Or is
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
It's just them talking about how brave.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, it already.
Not very
Play some
sumo-y.
lighting.
And here, look at. Hey, let me make one comment about this video.
Yeah.
And it just goes to what Nathan had said. No one watches the WNBA, and look, if you look at the audience here, it's like in a
friends and
hotel
family.
convention room.
Yeah. It's family
Yeah.
member.
You know, there's nobody watching. They're just all sitting there in chairs, and it's like a club.
And also, the ref is starting them.
If you look in the back, there's like one dude shirtless.
Yeah,
In
apparently
that video.
Apparently, it's men and women, and this is just the women here. Because right after this, as Brad pointed out, it did go straight.
Oh, this is the United States Sumo Championships.
This is the championship.
Wow.
Oh man.
And again,
I could get in there in a second and crush any of those women.
Same.
Cool.
What is that dude in the white? Like, that's so weird.
The guy with the bow tie.
Yeah,
still-
the white with a black bow tie.
He
Yeah,
is an extension of God, and you will treat him with the respect and dignity that he deserves.
You guys are not giving Bekah
this whole thing.
Hold on, Dave. You
Whoa.
guys are not giving Bekah dunking on me the kind of appreciation that it deserves. Go anyway. All right, go on.
What did she say?
Well, it's
What?
not going to be funny if I say it again.
I didn't know you said anything.
It was just one word. That's all it took.
Nathan was like, I could get in there in a second and obliterate any of those women. And I said, cool, good for you. That's awesome.
I still say this whole thing fits in the banquet room of a hotel.
Yeah,
It
that's
is.
a Courtyard
That's
Marriott right there.
definitely what
Oh,
it
yeah.
is.
Right.
I mean, at least they went for the nice one. Well, unpopular opinion probably to women. I'm sorry, but this is how I feel. You can try all you want, but men and women are never, ever going to be equal. And it's good that we're not. It's good because there are things that men can do better than women, and there are things that women can do better than men. And so I think, here's the unpopular part. I think that when it comes to sports and scholarships, you should have to stick with the ability skill set you were born with. You should have to compete against people with the same skill set you were born with.
Chromosomally.
Yes, chromosome situation. because if you
Chromolingus.
men can scientifically run faster usually than women. That is the
I don't know. I met this
average?
one woman. She was fast, man.
yeah.
She was so fast.
She could kick any of our asses. She was so
Mhm.
fast. Therefore, women are faster.
Like I'm not saying that people shouldn't be allowed to portray outwardly how they feel on the inside. But if you're going to go in and use it to your advantage to screw somebody else out of something that they worked hard for, I mean, there should be some kind of standard general rules for something like that.
Yeah, I kind of feel, and people like, say, Tim Pool. I don't know if you guys follow him. He's kind of a middle of the road, slightly left political analyst guy. He's talked about this, and he always says, like, it's so complicated. It's so complicated. What do we do? What do we do about trans people in sports, trans bathrooms, this kind of stuff? I'm like, man, it's not complicated. There are consequences to your actions. You are not going to get everything you want. You know what I mean? If you decided to transition and you're a fucking power lifter, and you're a man that transitions to a woman and you're a power lifter, I'm sorry, you just don't get the straight on
strongest woman in the world title.
Yeah, right, yeah.
I'm sorry, ma'am. You're fucking with these women that are working hard and want to compete, but you're coming in with this huge advantage, and I'm just sorry. You can't.
Yeah.
Right.
I know it sucks, and I know you feel this way or whatever, but sometimes you can't have everything you want. Sometimes you can't.
Have they gotten around to addressing that stuff? I know that it was a thing in UFC.
No.
There's
lawsuits. I know there's a lawsuit. I don't know if it's the one Patrick mentioned about the runners, but I know that I think there was a college where some school where lawsuits have been filed over this, but I think it's just kind of ongoing, and I don't have any details. I just briefly read.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard it before too.
Yeah.
We may have even mentioned it on the show once before.
Yeah, I know
Probably.
we've talked about it. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
You know who else doesn't always get what they want? Julia Roberts.
Why? What does she want? She can't.
What does she want?
She gets
Actually,
pretty much
you know
everything
what?
she wants.
I don't know if she ever wanted it.
Yeah, I don't know if she.
I certainly won't ever want that. I won't want it. So, okay, I have a question for you guys. The word biopic, is that how you say it?
Mhm.
Biopic, or do you say biopic?
I always hear
Biopic.
Biopic. I call it biopic because it's a pic that is a biography.
biography picture, yeah.
Biopic. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this article that I'm about to read to you is about a biopic that see, now I'm a little confused here because it says in the 1990s meeting. So is this something you know the story, Nathan? Is this something that happened in the 90s but it's just now coming out, or because the movie just came out, right?
Well, I don't think it was. No, it wasn't filmed in the 90s, but I'm guessing that
movies
it was written, and people write these movies years in advance, and they get shopped around, and like studios buy them, and
they'll buy them, cheat them down,
pass them around.
Takes forever to get a movie made.
So y'all, you know who was big in the 90s when this meeting happened? Y'all know who was big in the 90s?
Jack Nicholson.
Julia Roberts.
Oh.
Julia Roberts was big in the 90s. This movie that they're wanting to make, they wanted to cast Julia Roberts as, and I think it's great. I think she looks just like her. Harriet Tubman. They want to cast Julia Roberts as Harriet Tubman. Hollywood executive wanted her to portray Harriet Tubman in the leading abolitionist biopic. The screenwriter of the new film, Harriet, said, after studying Tubman's life in college about how she helped lead enslaved people to freedom on the Underground Railroad, screenwriter Gregory Allen Howard was determined to adapt her story into a feature film. When he met with the studio president about the idea in 1994, his script garnered praise. Howard wrote in an essay in the Los Angeles Times. He also received a casting suggestion. Let's get Julia Roberts to play Harriet Tubman, he told Howard.
This was in the 90s.
Yeah.
Back when blackface was still cool.
So basically, what the guy's reasoning for it, what he ended up saying was, it was so long ago, nobody's going to notice.
Oh, Lord.
Wow. You said it was the 90s. Was that Weissman?
I don't know who it was. It's somewhere in this article. I'll find it. Maybe. The screenwriter was Gregory Allen Howard. He spoke to just, I guess, a random executive. I don't know if he's named. Maybe he doesn't want to be named for something like that. That's pretty silly.
Yeah.
I
That's
don't.
crazy.
Can you imagine the uproar that would get now? Like in the 90s, there wasn't Facebook, there wasn't Twitter, so the news wouldn't have gotten around as easily.
Even then, that would have not been good.
No.
Yeah.
How did people communicate the way that we did? Like how on earth did we
Well,
make
They
it?
sent
Answering
letters.
machines.
Yeah.
Landlines.
Man, I miss the 90s so much.
Yeah,
They were so good.
it was a simpler time.
It was
I was
just
telling
like
somebody at work the other day. I was like, I wish I had a time machine so I could take dope vacations and go back to the 90s.
it was the 90s were just fun. Everything is like before 9/11, before this like SJW shit came in hard. Like, you just had fun.
We had a
Shit was
president
fun
getting
back
blown in the Oval Office.
then. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
We had we had the fucking Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles were
fuck
cool.
Yeah.
Heyday, man.
Yeah.
Fucking
Captain
Shredder.
Planet was teaching people not to fuck up the planet.
Yeah.
Tool, the
And then
band
look
Tool.
what they did. Tool was
Tool
making
was
music.
still good. They were still good.
Power Rangers.
Doing drugs, doing crazy shit.
Oh yeah, Power
Yeah.
Rangers, Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Now, I couldn't
Ghostbusters.
watch Power Rangers. My dad said it was satanic, but
I think Power Rangers is kind of after my time, after my childhood. Like I think I'd grown past.
Steve, we're the same age.
Yeah, I know, but I wasn't.
Maybe you just missed it.
Maybe
you missed
somehow.
it, but it was coming on TV
Yeah.
when I was, I'd say, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, somewhere in there.
Really?
Yeah.
I must
Me and my
asked my mom
sister,
to record
and
it.
I thought it was really cool, and
I
we were
was-
watching it one day, and my dad was like, "What is this? Turn this garbage off immediately."
They got a series of the toys that made us, and they were talking about Power Rangers, how it got started in America. So if you're really into Power Rangers, watch that show. Pretty cool.
I don't know how it flew under my radar. I just wasn't into. I liked Voltron, which was kind of similar.
Yeah.
It was cartoons, and then they pieced together to make a big robot guy.
Yep.
Oh, I've got something. Does anybody remember the PBS ripoff of Power Rangers and Voltron? It was called Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad.
Oh,
I remember
Great
hearing
name.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, that was a great show too, and I actually found one of the toys, and it was all 5 pieces and one thing, so you didn't have to buy all the different ones because your mom was only going to buy you one fucking thing. So you made it count, and it was awesome. I wish I knew where that thing was. The thing was dope.
PBS had some good shows though.
Oh yeah.
Like,
They
you ever
still
watch?
do.
Anybody ever watch Zoom?
Like
Or was-
I remember that. Yep.
I
That
think
sounds familiar.
it's been going a long time. I think it was one of those. I think it's like SNL, where it's just like a new cast. They just keep it going through the years.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
the Mickey Mouse Club of PBS.
Anybody remember Square One from PBS?
Square One.
Yeah.
It was
yeah.
like it was. Well, you guys remember it? I don't.
That's the school. That's the school thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
School
it was
News
making
Channel.
math.
Yeah.
No, it was making
No?
math cool. Like it was like, oh man, I really need to figure out how to do this. Well, then numbers come out, and then it was. I just remember being.
I have
very
no idea
impressed
what-
with it.
What you just said, Brad. I don't understand it.
Making math cool.
Hey, before we get away from Harriet Tubman, I want your guys' pick for who should have played Harriet Tubman, and I'm going to give mine right now. Since we were also on the trans issue, I would pick Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh,
Daniel
Wait,
Radcliffe.
Keanu
Reeves.
Reeves.
Yeah.
Donald Glover.
There's a good choice.
Yeah.
There's a good Dong Lover. Dong Lover is very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
In the 90s?
Yeah.
Mm.
And he would just always say, "I'm getting too old for this shit," trying to help people cross the state line.
he's leading someone through a super fight.
Oh,
or a sewer
Danny.
fight.
No, Danny Glover.
That's what I
Danny
meant. Sorry.
Glover.
Danny
Oh.
Glover. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking of Samuel L. Jackson just being like, get on this motherfucking train. You know, got a dress on, got a little hat.
It wasn't actually a train, Nathan.
There's snakes on this motherfucking underground train. Wait a minute, Steve-O, there wasn't a subway spanning the entire North American continent from north to south?
I'm sorry,
Holy
but
shit.
I think your teachers lied to
God.
you, man.
God damn it.
Check your privilege, Steve-O.
Sorry,
They
man.
told me there was train tracks of it.
I don't know, bro. I would think that the train tracks would be a terrible place to hide.
They didn't have to because it was always going up.
It was underground, though. It was
Yeah.
underground.
Oh, right. But there's always a train coming through, man.
Yeah, just back and forth.
I don't know.
I
man.
don't think it was really underground either.
Wait, there was not a tunnel
you telling
spanning
me?
the entire North American continent from the north to the south.
Are you
From
telling
Atlanta
me?
to Chicago, baby.
You're telling this has been all a lie?
All right,
Well-
Becca, we are on the internet right now, okay? Literally tens of people are watching us right now.
This Harriet Tubman story just got so much more boring. Hold on, Becca, I didn't hear your pick for Harriet Tubman.
I'm gonna stick with Julia Roberts.
Oh, you agree? Oh, you brought this up because you agreed with the pick of Julia Roberts. Okay, I see. I got you. I mean, I don't know about Julia Roberts. I don't know. Look at a picture of her and tell me she does not look like a goose.
I think she's beautiful.
She looks like a goose. Just pull her up. And pull
Everyone
up a goose.
knows what she looks like.
Pull up a goose.
Everyone
just
knows
pull
what
up
a
picture
goose
of a
looks
goose.
like.
A
I think
goose?
Roseanne should have played Harriet Tubman.
Roseanne?
Oh, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Well, if it's the 90s, it could be Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah.
Rosie O'Donnell. I don't
Oh,
Yeah,
ever
she-
want to see Rosie O'Donnell again if
I'm
if
good
that's
with
okay.
that,
I'm cool with that too.
yeah. Cutie Patootie fan club.
After
Okay.
she was rapping
Whoa.
in the Kmart commercial.
Whoa, I like
that's when I
the
had
first
enough.
picture.
There's a
is
side by side.
Julia
Oh,
Roberts and
Harriet
Harriet.
Tubman.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Must be the article.
Huh.
They're
Now,
so similar.
now Goose. It's
Wow.
right there.
Goose, Harriet Tubman.
See?
No.
Do I not
Goose
know
and Julia
faces?
Roberts.
Do I not know
Sorry.
faces?
You could show that picture and prove to somebody
There it is.
dinosaurs
Now-
evolved into birds.
Put that. No,
That's
go
not
back. Now go
Photoshop?
back to Julia Roberts.
All
Now
right.
go back to Julia Roberts. See?
Look up
I
Julia
can't tell
Roberts
which is
and
which.
Goose.
He said go back to Julia Roberts. You just
Sure,
keep showing
so-
pictures of Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts.
It's Goose.
That's an
versus
ugly goose. How do we getting gooses
No.
up here when we're talking about Julia Roberts and Harriet
Whoa.
Tubman?
What you need to type
What
in
is
is
this?
Julia
Well,
Roberts totally looks like,
that's
and that'll
weird.
show you
that
all of
Harvey
the things that people
Weinstein?
think she looks like.
Oh yeah.
And that'll be a good one. Totally looks
Totally
like.
looks like.
She's got the
It's not
Hermione
trying to fill it
haircut.
in
That
for
that
me.
goose picture's triggering me, man. I've
Oh,
got some bad
a
episodes
dog
of eating
or
ducks
horse.
and shit.
Yeah.
And
That was
That
a
dog
fun-
has beautiful head of hair.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And that's why she should play Harriet Tubman.
Beautiful. Hair.
Jesus.
Nice hair, nice teeth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Fabio.
Yeah.
I love her teeth. I love Julia Roberts.
Totally looks like
She looks a lot like
it's not-
Steven Tyler
It's not
there.
like finishing it like it normally
It,
is.
but it's that's the website is totally looks like. There was
Oh.
a website that just did like anybody that thought anything looked like anything else, they could put it on there. Like, you know, you have the
Burger.
diabetes cat. People would put like Wilford Brimley totally looks like diabetes cat. That's what that
Okay.
website
There
is
is
for.
no
and so
way.
if you type in
Okay.
Julia Roberts, it's going to show you all the things that people think she looks like.
Why is there a picture of Britney Spears looking like the Joker?
They photoshopped that
Oh,
face.
That's a frightening. That's
Yeah.
a frightening picture.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not getting much awesomeness out of this.
No.
let's go back to the.
Yeah,
What a
boring
shame.
Let's
bit.
go back to
The
Sounds
the
like
memes-
lies.
The memes are lacking. They
Go back
they
to
don't
the-
understand the
What about
goose.
this goose?
Yeah.
Man.
Is that really what they look like
It's
when they
terrifying.
open their
Yes.
mouth?
Oh yeah.
Look at that barbed
They
tongue.
got,
man.
They have
I was-
tongues?
teeth on their tongues.
I
Since
was-
when do they have tongues?
They always. I
Since
was
the
bitten by
Mesozoic
one as a
era.
child.
Yeah. Once you get bitten by a goose, you won't
Yeah.
forget they have.
I don't.
teeth.
Yeah. I hate them.
Patrick,
I'm on your side, Patrick. I
is there a-
got you.
Is there a story here? You were bitten by a goose?
Yeah, I was feeding them bread as a child
Yeah.
at the park in Maryville, and it bit me, and it chased me and tried to bite me again.
Yeah.
So ever since then, I stay away from geese.
My story is exactly the same, but in Ohio.
My story is exactly the same, but in Florida, and it was a duck.
Why doesn't anybody turn and just punt? Everybody, I see those videos. Everybody just runs screaming. Why doesn't anybody just kick the shit out of that bird?
People yell at you and say
Yeah.
you're being mean to animals, and then they follow you.
And I'm
give you
afraid-
license
attacking
plate.
you, man.
Say it was
They
your
can-
fault for egging
I'm
it
afraid
on.
it would
Why?
die.
I was 5-6 years old, and I was egging it on.
Yeah,
Egging it on.
how do you know that it's not going to come back angrier? They can fly and they can still move. And
How do you know he doesn't have a gun?
Yes, exactly.
You never know he's got a
Bekah,
gun.
Listen, put me in a ring with a goose. I'm gonna kick its ass.
Dude,
Yeah, but like,
oh,
what about if
cool.
you're in its natural territory? And it
Let's-
knows-
Put
Let's
a
do it
Mawashi
next
on that
Wednesday.
goose.
Let's
Put
do
a
it next week.
Mawashi on that goose.
The way
Put a
I see it,
Mawashi on that goose.
the way I see it, a goose always has the high ground. Like, they,
Yeah.
I'm gonna capture a goose,
Yeah.
okay,
and
face your
Quite-
fears, Patrick.
I'm
Quite
going
the
to
statement.
bring it to Nathan's place, and we are going to put it on the stream. Nathan fighting a goose.
I've never been so excited
Just
to
let it
hear
loose
something.
inside his home.
Yes.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
let it loose in there,
Yes.
and whoever comes out alive gets to keep the
He
house.
gets to,
Yes.
gets to stay on the podcast.
Yeah, it's not a cage match so much as it is a camper match.
Yeah. Just the problem is the later video will be internet outrage as man murders goose with bare hands.
Because friends locked him in camper with
Yeah,
his-
feather and blood everywhere. Terrible.
like some
But
of
as
that-
long as you eat the goose after the fact, I think it'll be okay.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that makes it
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
But you could tell them it's just like a really, really, really big goose, you know, because you live out in the woods. It'd be like it was like goose squatch.
Yeah.
It was
People-
huge.
Goose
People eat
squatch.
geese, right?
It was threatening
That's
to
the
hurt
thing,
your family.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
think
it's
so.
the Christmas Carol. you know.
Yeah,
Christmas goose.
Dude,
Christmas
sometimes-
and geese.
Bring me the best goose.
Sometimes I hear out in these woods, I hear like I think it sounds like a bunch of turkeys overnight, and they make some weird fucking sounds, man.
Oh, don't talk about your sister that way.
How dare you, sir?
I had to, man. You set it up.
Stop.
I had to knock it down. I can't stop.
She just runs around the woods all night. I don't
Like
know.
a silly goose.
She's a Wiccan. Wiccan.
Really?
Steve-O.
What?
Steve-O, I heard some sad news today.
Yeah, there was. Well, it's sad. At first glance, it is sad. So listeners know that anytime there's news with Starship, I'll always bring it up, and we've talked about it many times. Well, the very same prototype model that they had on display a few months ago, back in September, they did the unveiling, and they had the fins on it and everything, the canards they call them, that it was gonna do the belly flop maneuver and kind of like fly itself down. Well, that was a test article, and they were running a pressure test today. They were leading up to possibly doing a test flight, doing the 20-kilometer thing. So today they were doing their pressure test just to make sure that the tanks would hold. And
Tanks didn't hold.
Tanks didn't hold.
This is SpaceX.
Yeah, this was at their Boca Chica site out in Texas. The original Starship, like this is where they first started building Starship. So here, let's just blow that up and go ahead and play.
Oh, that doesn't look good at all.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Whoa.
No,
Whoa.
somebody put a frozen turkey in a fryer.
Yeah. Look at the way it's crumpled.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
and that is stainless steel, y'all.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Here, watch again. Watch the top
Looks
come
like
off.
an aluminum can.
Yeah, that's
Damn.
that's the bulkhead just shooting off the top. And I feel like I should mention this video is courtesy of Lab Padre on Twitter and YouTube. That's lab, like a science lab, and then Padre.
What's up, Lab Padre? Space Ghost Steve coming at you.
Yeah.
He's coming for you, man.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. So that's what happened there. Oh wait, actually, I have another video. This one actually shows, and it's from. This is from Space Padre Isle, because there's a place down there called Padre Isle, South Padre.
Father Island.
It's South Padre Island.
Oh.
Yeah, there's because South Padre Beach. That's one of those places where like girls get naked on spring break. Right?
Yeah. So,
really?
So here's where this is, obviously very hazy, but there you see the. Oh, don't do this right now. Okay, bulkhead comes off. Come on, there it goes. Oh, now you're gonna do this. Come on, man.
That Starship cam.
It always seems to do this.
This is, both of you guys are streaming off the same internet right now. Streaming out.
Well, it seems to do it like when you've had the page up for a while. Okay, there you go. Now you'll see the bulkhead land over here.
Oh.
Like, look how long it's up in the air, though. And
then,
shit.
Bam.
Ooh. That thing is fucking huge.
It is
too,
massive.
Right?
I think these the Starships are 9 meters wide. So if someone wants to translate that,
9 meters.
That's
9 meters.
That's roughly
27 feet.
27 feet.
We know what that
roughly.
is.
Yeah. So that thing. And SpaceX actually came out with a statement fairly quickly. Within a couple hours, like this all happened, and then like I started seeing a bunch of notifications from various people that I follow, and was like, "What is going on?" And then I start seeing this. So SpaceX released a statement, and they said the purpose of today's test was to pressurize systems to the max, so the outcome was not completely unexpected. There were no injuries, nor is this a serious setback. As Elon tweeted, and they linked to the tweet, but he tweeted, Mark 1, which is this one. It's the first iteration of the prototypes. Mark 1 served as a valuable manufacturing pathfinder, but flight design is quite different. The decision had already been made to not fly this test article, and the team is focused on the Mark 3 builds, which are designed for orbit. So it kind of has that. It rings of damage control, like don't get too worked up. But I mean, they're right. It is why they test. I would assume that they say that they had already decided not to fly this one. I don't know if that's.
Well, I mean, it's not hard to believe it. I mean, you could think of it from a funny way. If they were in some meeting and they said, "All right, so going forward, we're just going to stick with the Mark III." Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then, can we just go blow up the Mark I, please?
And they've done it before.
That sounds like a cool idea.
Well, in early development, back before it was even called Starship, back when they were going to do carbon fiber tanks, they took a huge carbon fiber tank out into the ocean off the coast of Washington State and pressurized it to the point of failure. And it blew up. And as far as anybody knows, that was their intention, was to blow it up. So they're not strangers to blowing shit up just to see where the failure point is, because that's useful knowledge to know at what level can we pressurize this thing before it actually explodes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's too big to put in somebody's man cave.
Yeah, you can't do that. You could make a man cave, a mighty large man cave, out of it.
That's true.
Yeah.
You could just dig a hole in your background and create some kind of fallout shelter with it.
Yeah. And then Brad brought to my attention this SpaceX tweet. Aside from this statement, I thought was a little out of character, but it says, SpaceX successfully completed the test of Starship's tanks. The tanks performed nominally, with an observation noted at the very end of tests involving the bulkhead being yeeted closer to space than SLS ever will be.
Yeeted.
I like those guys more and more every day.
There's a lot of inside jokes in there. Like the nominally, that is, and by the way, this is a fake tweet. The normally is just a reference to something one of the commentators said on a SpaceX webcast a while back. He accidentally said nominal instead of nominal. But where it says an observation noted at the very end of the test. That is hilarious to anybody that's paying attention to this stuff because, I don't know, like a year ago or something, Northrop Grumman was conducting a test of the solid rocket boosters that are going to go on the SLS, which are very similar. If you've ever seen the space shuttle, which I know everybody has, the two big white solid boosters on the sides, that's basically what they were testing. And they ran this test, and at the end, like the nozzle exploded off of it. All right. And then in the statement afterwards, they called it a successful test with an observation noted at the end. And everybody just thought it was hilarious because clearly something failed, but they called it an observation.
Space humor.
Space humor. Yeah, and then the bulkhead being yeeted closer to space than SLS will ever do. That is
self-explanatory.
Yeah, SLS is this rocket, for those of you that don't know. It's a rocket that NASA has been instructed by Congress to build, and it's this overpriced and overscheduled thing that yeah, it's way over budget. Billions of dollars over budget, and it's being built by Boeing and Lockheed and Northrop Grumman.
You just reminded me something. You said Congress. Mm-hmm. The House Judiciary Committee just voted through, which it will now go to a full vote in the House, a federal marijuana legalization bill.
Is that right?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, it will basically I don't know all the details. It basically opens it up, allowing states to
continue doing
it's not
what
going
they're
to fuck
doing.
with any states.
So
it takes it off of Schedule 1. Where
all the real
it has no medicinal effect. Yeah, that's Schedule 1. Has no medicinal effect, so it takes it off of that. I don't know if it completely legalizes it.
Yeah, so it's probably still up to each state to figure out what they're going to do with it, right?
Yeah, I think so.
But it means that the feds aren't going to come in and shut you down if you're operating in a legalized state.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about being fucked with.
Right.
More importantly, you can utilize the U.S. banking system, because right now everything is done so cash based because you can't put your money in the bank. So FDIC insured, because the banks don't want to touch money that is not clean.
Right.
It's money that's subject to the sale of a pharmaceutical that's whatever.
Is that still a thing? I thought that they had figured out some way to get around that.
I heard there was a separate bill that had already done that.
I don't think so. Everything is still all cash basis. They still aren't utilizing banks. They still don't make deposits in banks. It's suitcases and armed guards still. I mean, it's
the way it should be.
Well, there was a guy trying to get a question on the ballot that talked to Bekah outside the DMV.
What was that question?
He asked me if I was a registered voter, and for the very first time ever in my life, I could say yes. And he said, "Well, I'm trying to get some signatures to get a question on the ballot." And I said, when I was immediately uninterested, and but I was already talking to him, so he started reading the piece of paper to me, and he said the first one is. I don't even remember what it was at all. Oh, it was to be able to have something answered twice or have something voted for twice.
Oh my God.
What?
I don't know what that's all about, but the other one was, and so I didn't sign it. And so the other one was to legalize marijuana in, I guess, the state of Florida or something for people 21 or older.
Yeah.
And so he said that he needs something somewhere around, I think he said 2 million signatures. I think that's a lot, but I think that's what he said. And I asked him how many he had.
Going it
6.
Surely he's
not definitely not. But I'm pretty sure he said 2 million. I asked him how many they had, and I think he gave me a number that was very close to 1 million. I think he said 900,000.
Oh, well, they got plenty of time.
Yeah.
I don't know when the deadline would be, but we just passed. Like election day is a year away, basically.
Yeah. As far as this federal bill goes, it's anticipated to go through the House, but then in the Senate, what they're, the speculation is that it's going to have to be, if it even was to go through, it would have to be definitely, the Republicans would definitely be negotiating to make it less strong than it is. Right. To weaken it to some degree, because Mitch McConnell, the head of this whatever in the Republicans in the Senate, he's extremely anti marijuana legalization. Yeah, he hates fun. But and then there also, there's still a question about whether or not Trump would sign it, and I'm not sure because
he doesn't like any drugs at all. He doesn't like alcohol or anything. Supposedly, he doesn't do any of it.
But it's like sometimes he's kind of libertarian on stuff, but other times he panders to the very conservative part of the Republican Party.
If you showed him, if you could, just show him numbers from the states that have legalized it and how much they've saved on law enforcement and gained on taxing.
Yeah, I kind of feel like he would lean towards signing a bill like that, but
his whole thing.
I think he would. Just
who knows?
The economical boom, because
right?
He seems to just keep using that as his basis for, look, I'm doing shit. Look at our economy. We're doing great. Granted, it seems like a what is the phrase? Like a straw,
like a neighborhoody situation,
like something propped up.
Straw man, yeah.
Well, the American,
so.
Right. Yeah, I mean, our economy, our dollar, and all that shit, it's a big bubble that one day is going to explode, and we're all going to fucking starve to death. But
again,
hopefully, what we try to do is just push it further back, so we don't have to worry about it. So.
Speaking of the economy, I'm now a 5 shareholder in Virgin Galactic.
Cool.
Get in on the ground floor, y'all. Because here's my theory: when they finally do launch people, and it's successful, and everybody's okay, the stock's gonna rise. I don't know if it's gonna double, triple, or what, but it's under $10 right now. So buy what you can, and then
sit on it,
and maybe you sell right after the first flight, because it'll probably shoot up, and then it'll kind of peter out once it becomes kind of normal. But
what's its stock?
SPCE.
And you said that was on. It's not on Stash. It's on.
I haven't
Robinhood.
I haven't looked on.
You're
Stash.
using Robinhood,
right?
Robinhood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna download that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna finally do it. I'm gonna do it. I gotta invest in my future, people.
Yeah.
I'm getting old. Yeah. Getting old, decrepit.
Yeah, it's still not on Stash. God damn it.
Yeah,
I can't go places and do things for my entire life.
Is Virgin Galactic?
Yeah, Virgin Galactic Holdings, I think, is what it's labeled as.
How much are the shares right now?
They're less than $10, I think.
It is. Really? It's $9.10 a share.
Yeah.
And you just only have 5?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I bought 2 off the bat because I had just gotten the app, and then the other day I was like, I'll put some more money in there, and bought 3 more shares, and I'll probably buy more.
So how soon are you thinking
that they'll fly?
They're gonna launch? Yeah.
Well, they've been given estimations for years, but they're getting pretty close. And actually, they just opened up their astronaut training camp or place. It's at the Under Armour headquarters or something. But they're going through the process of sort of like setting up what the training process will be. They've got a couple of their initial space flight participants. I guess they call them astronauts. They've got some of their future astronauts there, and they're walking through it with one of their test pilots, and Beth Moore, I think is her name, or something.
Is she she's the one, space flight attendant?
She's the one that flew with. She's the only one that's flown as a passenger.
Sorry, that was a sexist comment.
Oh,
sweet. I bought a share.
All right.
I'll do it tomorrow.
But yeah, they're there, and they're working with a couple of the future astronauts, but I'm assuming they're going to go through this really slowly and methodically and try to figure out exactly how they'll train a bunch of people at once. Once they get to that point.
So
go to space camp.
Yeah, hell yeah, space camp.
I went there when I was a kid. Space camp.
Of course, they haven't said who those first few passengers are, but they've got somebody.
So do you think that Virgin's going to go launch somebody into space before SpaceX and Blue Origin and
Well, I think
any other companies?
I think SpaceX is going to put astronauts, like NASA astronauts,
Okay.
up first. But as far as like paying customers, it's going to be. I don't know. It's
SpaceX
tough.
isn't aiming on paying customers.
No, they're not really. I mean, in the future, yeah, they've said, well, our goal is to fly, people, like not, civilians. But yeah, between Blue Origin and Virgin, it's really hard to say because Blue Origin has done so many test flights of New Shepard, and it's kind of odd that they don't just go ahead and start flying people because every test that they've done has been successful that I can remember. It's like
I've not heard a damn thing about.
I haven't heard
in
Blue
a long
Origin in a
time.
while.
Yeah, and they've done test flights. They've done some this year, and they've been successful. Everything seems to be going good, but they are very slow and methodical, and and I think they have yet another test flight still scheduled, and so I don't know. And both of them are, I think, rightfully very nervous about finally starting operations. Because you have one thing go wrong, and it could tank the whole company.
Yeah.
Right. Somebody dies.
Yeah.
Some shit.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that Blue Origin is further along, but I just don't know. I think next year could be the year that maybe one of them does it.
Okay.
Well, $9.10 a share, it's pretty cheap.
What do you got to lose?
Just
I mean, and I didn't even use my money, so
yeah.
I'll drop $1,000 into that tomorrow.
Shit.
Yeah, I had $15.70 in dividend money, so I picked up a share.
We also need to kind of remember to keep track of what Mad Mike is doing, because I know he was doing another one of his launches soon, and I'm just worried I'm gonna hear like 3 months from now that he like fucking died.
Yeah.
I mean, we all got his number. We can check in on him.
Yeah, just give him a call.
Hey, how you doing? You
doing
want
good.
Subway, be back on the show again?
Yeah, I wonder if there's a way to
Stolen anybody's name lately.
I wonder if there's some way for us to get in touch with him that he would actually respond without having to call him.
I mean, I would text him. He would respond back.
Oh yeah, we could just
text him. Mad Mike, he's still kicking.
Yeah. How's that rocket coming?
How's it going?
Yeah. I'll try it.
Yeah, give it a shot.
You'll try it.
Yeah.
Good. Perfect.
I have him saved in my contacts as my Mad Mike.
Of course.
Yeah. It's the only way.
Oh man, I didn't save it.
Dude's got an iPhone.
Oh yeah, he's got the blue text.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, iMessage.
Yeah.
What?
I was surprised that he wouldn't do video chat, but he would call in.
Yeah, I guess he just didn't have the app. He may not have a Gmail. Surely he has a Gmail. Who knows?
He does have a Gmail.
He does? So he could totally do Hangouts.
Yeah. But
well, I mean, you've seen him. You've seen where he lives. You think he wants to be on FaceTime or
no. I mean, he did say he wasn't really clothed, so he didn't want to be on the Hangouts.
So. I hope he was buck naked the entire time he was talking to us.
And he's talking to Bekah. He had his dick in his hand too.
Yeah.
Don't we all?
Everybody, show your hands. Hands up. Hands up, motherfucker.
Uh-oh, Bekah's hands are down.
Nope.
Whose hands on whose dick now, Bekah?
I don't have a dick. I figured it was self-explanatory.
We'll be the judge
it's a metaphorical penis. The metaphorical penis in all of our own minds.
She will wield it.
Bekah, I want to hear some poetry.
Okay. This one's not quite as sexy as last week.
We'll be the judge of that.
So I wanted to call this like whatever that tweet said, something about yeeting as far as it did. But then I was like, no, this is too serious of a poem.
Yeeted closer to space than SLS.
Well, what I actually named it was Ringside Heart Attack.
Are we back to the really dark poems? Is that where we're going? Dark?
I don't think it's maybe.
Is it happy or is it?
I wouldn't classify it as happy, but it's up to everybody. It's up to everybody to interpret it the way they want to.
Okay.
I interpret it my way. It's got a theme.
What is your way?
It's not something I can explain.
You know, that's something that fucking preacher said that time at that Church of God when someone stood up and spoke in tongues. Someone spoke in tongues, and in the Bible it says that if someone speaks in tongues, if it's from the Holy Ghost, then God will provide someone else to translate. Nobody ever stood up to translate, and then the preacher said some bullshit like, let your spirit interpret that or something, interpret that in your hearts or something. And it was like my first time there. I wanted to stand up and say, no, that is not biblical. That was of the devil.
Satanic. It's the devil. No, I've had that. I know we've talked about this in the past, but I've had that moment in church where somebody does that, busts out with the tongues on the mic, and then it just gets quiet.
Yeah.
It gets real quiet.
Everyone's looking around. Who's got the translation?
Is he looking at his phone while he's doing it?
Was this from the devil? Was it?
It's from the devil.
It better not. Oh, God, I hope not.
Somebody picks up their phone. I got Google Translate.
Yeah.
And then what's the guy that did that? What is he thinking?
Well,
like,
I think that probably
Satan just spoke right through me. I
think what it is they're, they don't, maybe in their, like, consciously, it's not what they're going for, but they're looking for a little recognition. They felt the spirit move, and they wanted to stand up and show everyone just how godly they were.
Well, yeah, you could have that attitude, or they could also be very genuine in it. Believe me, I mean, I've been in those situations where I know people genuinely they feel they were moved and they do it. I mean, my dad used to straight up fucking prophesy to people. I mean, like a psychic.
Do soapbox people?
He was really good. He believed it too. He was really good at it.
Yeah.
Well, y'all are about to feel the spirit move.
Oh, yeah. Hit us with the spirit. I'm ready.
Ringside heart attack. Our goal is to fly. Applying a new philosophy is labeled as a lot of work, pressurized to the point of failure, unintentionally equivalent to a serious setback. But that's the reason for the test. Allowing a person to dig a hole to a simpler time of being specifically good at only one thing.
I feel like I'm going to give my interpretation of that. I feel like that was specifically about women trying to do sumo. No,
it was not at all.
Bekah, read that again.
That is the furthest from what I was thinking.
Bekah, this is my truth right now. Read that again. Leave
the woman stuff to the women, Nathan.
Bekah, read it again, and I want everybody to think about it in the sense of women trying to get into sumo.
Okay.
Do it one more time.
Man, it's called ringside heart attack. Our goal is to fly. Apply.
Okay.
Applying a new philosophy is labeled as a lot of work. Pressurized to the point of failure, unintentionally equivalent to a serious setback. But that's the reason for the test. Allowing a person to dig a hole to a simpler time of being specifically good at only one thing.
Oh, man.
Well, you can have that truth. The spirit moved in you, and that's fine. But that's not what I meant.
God gave me the inspiration, and
I mean, it spoke to me like a bad day of food poisoning.
Bad day of food poisoning.
Yeah, bad
Thanks,
day
Dave.
of food poisoning.
Oh man, I really appreciate that.
Digging a hole to a simpler time.
Mm-hmm.
Before you ate those oysters. That simpler time.
Bad canned soup.
Bad canned soup.
Bad canned soup.
Yeah, Dave, you would never eat oysters.
Canned turkey.
No, oysters are slimy and nasty.
And awesome.
No, Dave, they look slimy, but they're not actually slimy.
They're a little slimy.
They're very gritty.
Not slimy.
Like bitters.
They're just soft. They're very soft.
I just take your word on their velvety, gritty goodness and
Dave,
say, not for
they're
me.
not as bad as you think. They're not.
No, they're good. They're good, man.
Well,
No, they're
Dave,
great.
when you get a little older, maybe
Dave,
you'll
when
be
you
willing to
grow
try
up.
new things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give Dave a good well done
Dave, when
purloin and some
you get
Skittles.
off the macaroni and French fries.
When you get a little
Get off
older.
that Mountain Dew.
That's like
there.
my nephew. My nephew, he's 5 years old, and he lives off of French fries. And I'm just like, I'm terrified. Like, I hope he's not. He'll be a diabetic in 2 years.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like,
Dave's idea of adventurous eating is putting Doritos on his sandwich.
It's not your standard chip, you know?
They're covered in flavor.
Yeah.
They are delicious. if you've ever
smothered,
tried them.
covered, brothered.
It's just stepping outside the box, so to speak. It's
No,
more
I'm
of a
with you.
triangle.
I do
Triangle
it
of taste.
Triangle of Taste. Why isn't that a poem name yet?
because all the good stuff happens
to
after
write
my
it.
poem's already read.
Oh.
Hmm.
Bekah with her triangles all behind her everywhere.
There you are.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for a great podcast. Thank you to Haywood Banks for our theme song.
Yeah, hey, follow us on Twitter, y'all. _verbal assault _ check us out on Mixer if you don't already. Mixer.com/verbal assault podcast. And if you're too
Watch
late,
us live.
yeah, watch us live. Get in the chat. And if you're too late for that, watch it on YouTube so you can see
10:30-ish on Wednesdays.
You want to
Eastern.
see Julia Roberts compared to a goose? Check it out. So go to YouTube and search for Verbal Assault Podcast, and then I don't know, filter by channel, something like that.
If you want to support us, like and subscribe to us on iTunes or however you get your podcast. And you can also support us at patreon.com/verbal assault.
And you know what you could do? You could do all that stuff. You can do all that stuff. Have a great life. It'll be fine. But what you really want to do is call up 865-316-6955 and tell us your favorite celebrity next to a picture of what animal you think they look like. And we'll look at it. And we'll put it in that chat. And then give us money on Patreon. And it just all comes full circle, baby. Cycle of life.
Yeah, thanks for the voicemail, Jerry. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Jerry.
Coming
Miss
Yeah,
you,
the
Jerry.
voicemail.
Yeah.
What's that number?